Hello my lovely ladies, welcome back to the channel, and welcome if you haven't been to the channel yet. Now I know I've been gone for the summer, and that's because I've had so much going on. We were remodeling our place, and that has taking so many turns. As you may know, if you have remodeled your home before, there's change orders, there's unexpected things that come up. So that's been a whirlwind, and I've been managing the remodel because obviously it was my idea. Especially, you know, when you are marrying someone who already has a home, you know, let's just say the house that he chose is not necessarily a house that I would choose, but it's all good. We're remodeling it, and our plan is to live here for a couple years, maybe 1 or 2 more years, and then we'll rent it out and we will be buying a home of my choice. So yeah, that's basically what it is. But we got the home remodeled, so we're really excited about that. And I have been keeping up with you ladies who have been booking your goddess check-ins. I'm always consistent with that, and you know, I love being there for you ladies. And this channel has, you know, been missing me because I've had all those things going on, but I'm here now. And in this video, we're going to be talking about dating. I know most of my content is about dating, but I feel like there is so many questions that I get that I just kind of want to nip in the bud, because I think it would be easier if I just make a video and talk about it all in one place. If you want to talk about specific type dating, like online dating or dating in person, I have specific videos for that, so definitely check those out. I'll leave them up here or in the bio. But this video, we're going to be kind of going on a dating 101. Now, this is going to be about dating for marriage, but also if you are new to dating and you just want to get your foot out there and really see what's it like and how you should be moving, this is also a video for you. But we are going to be focused on dating for marriage. All right, let's get into it. So dating for marriage, this is something that I mostly get clients for. They mostly want to date and find someone to marry, or if they're already in a relationship, they want to get a marriage out of that relationship, which I am totally down for and I totally support. I think marriage is very beautiful. I got married and I honestly love being married. I love having my husband there to protect and provide for me. Just emotionally, he's there for me, even though I can be all over the place sometimes. He just kind of like is that rock in my life where when I'm all over the place emotionally, he's pretty much got it handled. And I appreciate that, and I know how needed that is in a companionship, in a relationship. But when you're dating for marriage, it's not necessarily all about what the guy is doing for you. Now, I know we talked about, you know, why you would want a husband, why you would want to get married, and what that looks like for you in your life. But in this video, especially when you're dating for marriage, you have to look at everything from the male's perspective. Especially with my clients, you ladies know in our goddess check-ins, everything that I tell you is usually from a male perspective and how he's going to receive what you're giving and what you're saying. So I want you ladies to be mindful of that when you're dating, when you're posting photos, when you're talking. Just make sure that you're looking at it not only from your perspective and maybe how you would feel, but how the other person will feel or how other people will feel. Because when you get more empathetic and you are less concerned with yourself and more concerned on how someone is receiving you, let's say, or how they're experiencing you and how that is happening, the more better the relationship is going to be between you and that person. So the first thing I want to talk to you ladies about is your appearance. Now, this is probably one of the most important parts. It's not only because men are visual, it's because everybody is visual, right? We all look at people and how they present themselves. So I can tell you a little quick story. Me, my friends, and my sister, we were out to dinner one night, and we were just having like a little girls' night dinner. And it was a beautiful restaurant, very like European-esque. It was very, very beautiful. And this couple walked in, and the woman, like, I was like stopped in my conversation and was like, she's so beautiful. And she looked absolutely gorgeous. Her hair was done, her makeup was done. She had a beautiful dress on. And I was like, wow, this woman is gorgeous, right? And the guy that she was with, he looked fine, right? He had a nice shirt on. He had a blazer on, like a jacket on, and, you know, was looking like men usually do when they're going to dinner, right? But the woman was so beautiful, and I was like, oh my God, she looks amazing. They look amazing, right? That was like my impression. So moving on, the dinner went on, and then another couple walked in, and this woman stopped me again, and she looked amazing. She looked absolutely gorgeous. She had a red dress on, she had red lipstick, her hair was like dark black, it was like done like Hollywood style, her makeup was on point. And the guy, same like the other guy, just shirt, jacket, you know, pants. He looked pretty nice with her, but she was stunning, absolutely stunning. And I swear to you, everybody probably had the same impression as I did. That was like, oh my God, this girl's gorgeous. That guy is lucky. Is that his wife? Who's like, he's so lucky to be with her. He even looks a little more attractive. So those are the type of things that you have to remember when you're dating. You're also like presenting for the both of you guys, because people are taking note. People are seeing you, not only, oh, you as an individual, but they're seeing you as a couple, right? Regardless if it's your first date, your second date, it doesn't matter. And I bet you that the guys these women were with knew the impression that they were getting, because, you know, I stopped and I was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. I'm not the type of person to like go up to someone at dinner and tell them, oh my God, you're gorgeous. And it's so funny because a woman actually did that to us, and she came over to our table and was complimenting us and, you know, all that. And that's great. But if I had saw her, like we were walking past each other, I would of course have told them they were gorgeous, right? But it makes the guy look better too. This guy was not, both of the guys weren't like the most handsome men or anything like that. They did look nice. They looked presentable, of course, but they weren't like the most gorgeous men. But because they were with these gorgeous women, and these women packaged themselves so beautifully, they looked both like a beautiful couple. So I want you ladies to really think of that when you're dating, especially when you're dating for marriage. You want to present very, very beautifully, because you want him to look at you in the light of like, oh my God, she makes us look so good. And other people are going to feel the same way. They're going to say, oh my God, you guys look so great. You guys are a beautiful couple. How long have you been together? And this could be on the first date. So just being mindful of that when you're, you know, getting ready to go out on your dates. You don't want to be looking like, you know, a hooker or inappropriate for where you're going. But, you know, I always suggest you go to dinner for your first date at a beautiful restaurant. That way you can wear your makeup, wear your dress, like present really well. And if you want to do some type of activity on the third or fourth, or, you know, dates going on, look presentable for that too, you know, get your looks together. But definitely when you're dating, you need to look the part, regardless if you're on a date or not, right? So even if you're just going outside, look the part, be dressed, have your hair done, have your makeup done, wear something nice. Just get ready every single day. So then that way, just in case you run into a guy or you see him, you're always looking good. I know even for me, when me and my husband, before we even met, we met through a client, right? So I didn't know I was gonna meet him. I didn't know who he was, but I was looking good that day, and he saw me and saw it as an opportunity to ask me out, right? To ask me for my number, to try to get to know me. That's because I was already presenting well when I first saw him. Now, if I had saw him in sweatpants and I was sweaty and I wasn't, you know, really done up and I didn't look that good, then who knows what could have happened. Looks aren't everything, but they are important. So you do need to put effort in your looks, and you have to present well, especially if you are dating for marriage, if you are being serious about dating, because men are taking feedback from the outside world, right? They're gonna hear from the bartender, oh my God, your woman is beautiful. They're gonna hear from the waiter that you're beautiful. They're gonna hear from the valet that you're beautiful. They're gonna hear all these people saying, oh my God, you guys are so beautiful. He's going to start envisioning his life with you. And that is what you want to start instilling early on in the relationship, early on in the dating phase. So you want to present really well. Another thing, I think that some women may have some issues with this, because I think it just comes up a lot, and it really has to do with your conversation. Now, I did do a video about is this a date or a meeting, and how you actually date and not have like an interview style dating. But most women kind of ask so many questions, like they're getting to the bottom of something on the first date, and that is a very uncomfortable situation. So I want you ladies to not go that route at all. Do not treat it as an interview. Do not treat it as a meeting. Treat it like a date. And the number one thing that you do on a date is have fun. I will instill this in your head until you're blue. Have fun. I want you ladies to think of this. Most men are really interested in a girl next door vibe. What does that mean, right? What does that girl next door vibe mean? When you think of the girl next door, it's like the hot girl next door that's really cool, she's chill, she's down to earth, but she's beautiful, she's fun, and we have like a friend-like energy where, you know, there's some underlying sexual tension there, but we're keeping it fun and cute and flirty. So that's the kind of energy you want to bring to the date. You want to be cute. You want to be fun. You want to talk about things that are interesting and exciting. You want to just kind of vibe out with the person. You don't really want to give interviewee, you know, throwing these questions back and forth. And people usually say, like, then what do I say? What do I talk about? Anything else. You can say, well, how's your day? Oh, my day was great. I had a workout, and then I ended up going to the store, and then I saw this new fruit that I never saw before. Oh, you never saw that fruit before? Oh, I had that. They have that here. I actually had it when I was visiting Mexico. Oh, you went to Mexico? What part of Mexico did you go to? Oh, we were in Cabo. Oh, well, I went to Tulum, so I was like closer to Cancun. Oh my God, I always wanted to go to Tulum, but I heard it's kind of played out. Oh no, well, it's not that played out, but it's still cool, but I get what you mean. Well, where else would you like to go? You see how that conversation could just go. I know that was a silly conversation, but that's the kind of conversations that go, and you're vibing out with a person. You're just talking about things, and you're seeing like what the other person is doing, and then you get to like kind of just vibe out, and it's just like a normal conversation. But if you're sitting there and you're saying, so what do you do for work? What was your last relationship? Why did it end? Is there anybody else you're dating? Like, that's just kind of like, whoa. Calm down, you know, hold on, you know, because I just think of it from my perspective too. If someone was asking me that, this is what I want you ladies to think about. Like, if you're the guy, right? If the guy was even asking you all those type of questions, wouldn't you be like, okay, you're getting a little too into my business? Like, why do you need to know, right? Are we there yet? What kind of relationship do we have that like I need to like start spilling all this to you? Like, what are we doing right now? So that's what I want you ladies to think of when you're having these kind of conversations, because what you want to do, especially on a date, is you want to slow down time. This is the number one trick that I used for dating, and that's what got me further and got me married and everything like that is because on dates, I did not rush through my dates, even if I didn't like the person that much, right? Because I naturally will slow down the time. So what do I mean by slowing down the time? When you're on a date, the best thing to happen when you're on a date is for the waiter to come up to you or the server to come up to you and say, oh, what would you guys like to order? And you're like, oh my God, we haven't even looked at the menu yet. Perfect. That way, he's like, dang, we're so in a vibe. We didn't even look at the menu yet, right? We're just connecting. This date just started and we're already like vibing out and having a good time. Perfect. That is how you get someone to like really like, we have a connection, right? We're vibing out. That is completely like good news. Like when that happens. Now that happens, usually when you're out with your friends, when you're out with someone you're comfortable with, right? That's usually what happened. If you're out with someone and you're not too comfortable with them and you don't really want to be there, you probably got the menu and started looking instantly. But when you really are vibing out, you're talking, you're saying things, what you did that day, you're vibing out the place, you're complimenting, you're just enjoying the time. So remember that when you're dating, that you're actually enjoying the time, that you're actually vibing out, that you're not in a rush to like get these things answered, get the order in, get all this. Like, calm it down, slow it down, connect. And once you do that, he gets locked in. He's like, whoa, we got a vibe. Like, this is like, we were vibing all day. Like, he's not gonna want the date to end because you're slowing it down and you're showing like, it's fun being around you. You're a good time. Like, you're fun, right? Another thing I want you ladies to be mindful of, and this is very important, drinking. Now, me personally, I don't drink. But I did drink before I got married. Before me and my husband, we drunk probably like I want to say like 2 months, and then we both stopped drinking in our relationship, and so we haven't drunk in about, it will be 2 years in December, I think. Yeah. So I don't drink, but when I did drink, this is my rule for drinking, especially on dates. Only have wine or champagne. I know the cocktail list looks amazing and you want to try it, but when you're dating, you want to stay away from hard liquor. I don't care if you're Ubering, I don't care if he's driving you or anything like that. It's not a good impression for a woman to be drinking. And when you drink hard liquor, you get tipsy, you get drunk, you feel some type of way. And if you're dating for marriage, you do want to give off this very traditional vibe, right? You want to give off this very like, I'm a wife, right? I'm someone you can present, and you don't want to be drunk on this date. Don't get drunk. So if you do want to have a drink, please just go for, a wine or champagne. And usually if you do get wine, he'll probably have some wine with you and you guys get a bottle. Just have one glass, please. Do not get drunk there. This is not your time to party and turn up. If that's your style, then this is not the channel for you. I'm joking. But if that's your style, leave that for another day. Leave that when you get to know him. But in the beginning, you want to, have a clear head. You want to vibe out. You want to be in the energy of, I'm listening to you, I'm coherent, I don't need alcohol, I'm focused on you. Now, for my ladies who do not drink like me, this is sparkling water time. This is, you can get a mocktail. I love mocktails, but they're really packed with sugar, so I'd just be mindful of that. You don't really want to be drinking mocktails all night and you're trying to go to sleep and you're high off sugar. So I always stick to sparkling water or flat water. and that usually works for me. I don't drink sodas or anything like that. You want to stay healthy. You don't want to like seem unhealthy to him, because the more healthy you are, the better he's going to think of you, because he's like, oh, she's health conscious. So that just kind of like spins in his mind that she's going to be a great mother, she's going to be a great wife, she's going to be healthy, she's going to look good for a long time. You know, she's really thinking of these things in the long run. So just be mindful of that when you're going on dates, that you're not getting drunk and you're not ordering drinks to get drunk. So just off the bat, that's number one. Another thing I want you ladies to think about is the way your energy is with him. And this kind of goes in with the vibes, but I want you ladies to be happy and smiling and enjoying your time. Like, no resting bitch face, no like negative energy. Don't tell him no sad stories. Like, that's the number one thing that I do not like. Men or women who do it, like, I don't want to hear your sad story. I really don't. I know you want to tell somebody, but just go and tell your family members, go and tell a therapist. Don't tell the person that you're dating. Don't tell the strangers that you meet. We don't want to hear your sad stories. It's so off-putting. It's so awkward. You never know what to say to the person. It's just an energy we don't want to be having on a first date. And that is just uncomfortable for everybody. So keep the conversation fun and light, and just be kind, be gracious, be, loving. And if he does open up and, gives you a little bit of a sob story and stuff like that, be kind, be compassionate, be empathetic, listen to him, be there for him. But, you don't have to give one yourself, right? You don't have to tell him about your past and the things that happened to you and that were negative. He doesn't need to know that, especially now. You can tell him that once you're married, once you're in a part of your relationship that's, we're in this and, now we're going through this together. But nobody wants to hear about trauma. We all know trauma bonding is not where it's at. So keep your traumas and your problems to yourself, your therapist, or your family members, not on your dates. So as you ladies know, I do talk about princess dating and that type of energy, having this princess energy when you're dating. But you also have to remember the princess is still a very elegant and regal woman, right? She is not just this wild card. She's very polite and she's very open, and she's just very, she presents very well. So think of that when you're dating. You want to be gracious. You want to say thank you. You want to say please. You want to be kind to the waitress or the waiter. You want to give off like this energy of politeness and just good vibes and just like a nice person. Because if you come off like really rude or bitchy and stuff like that, how do you think he's going to think of you, right? Because he's probably like, I can't bring her around my friends. She might act like this. She might have problems with my mom. She might have problems with this person. She comes off very like hard to please. She's not really like someone that I want to work hard to get to know, because her energy is completely off. So think of that when you're on a date. You want to be in the energy of kindness and elegance and affluence. Like, act like you have some sense. Act like you were raised with manners and you know how to treat people, because that matters. Now, if he's acting a certain type of way, that's fine for him. That's not fine for you, but you definitely want to present yourself well to everybody that you're coming in contact with. So you want to smile, you want to say thank you, you want to be polite. I know you ladies know this already, but for the ladies who don't know, for the ladies who are just starting out dating, but dating for marriage or any of those stages that you're in, you always want to be polite and you want to present really well. So another thing that may or may not come up, especially when you're dating for marriage, is the conversation about marriage. Now, I don't want you to be kind of probing to get that out of him and trying to figure it out. Some guys, if he's on the same mission as you, will tell you, you know, I'm dating for marriage, I want to be married, I want to have kids, he's probably going to let you know. And that is a perfect opportunity for you to let him know, like, well, you know, I am also interested in getting married. I want to make sure that I meet the right person because I'm looking for a forever person. I'm interested in doing it in the long run with someone, and this is my goal, right? But you don't want to first put that out there. Now, I don't remember this, but apparently my husband says that on our first date, I did tell him that I was dating for marriage and, you know, I wanted to have children. This was my goal. This is what I wanted. And I was like, well, how did that conversation happen? Because it's like I blinked out because I just don't remember saying that. And he was like, well, then how did I know? I was like, I don't know. Maybe you read my mind, but I'm pretty sure I probably did say it, but I just don't remember. We were in a conversation and it kind of just came up. And he talked about where he was at, and then he asked me where I was at, and I just let him know this is what I want for my future. And that conversation was, I mean, essentially is what brought us together because he was like, we're aligned in that, right? So if someone is bringing that up to you and they really are on that same page as you, connect with them, because that's a good sign that you are dating the right type of person, and you want to not put all your cards in on him. Obviously not. You want to make sure that he's a man of his word, but you want to give him the opportunity to show you who he is. So don't doubt him, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt and not expecting the worst from him. So if he says he's a man who wants to marry and has these plans and stuff like that, allow him to show you that he's that man. You don't have to tell him, well, this is what you have to do. You can tell him, you know, this is what I want. This is how I envision me being married and stuff like that. But make sure that you're actually giving him the opportunity to show you those things. And then, you know, as the relationship progresses, that he's actually serious about that. Another thing I want you ladies to be mindful of, and this is something that me and my sister was actually talking about on, like, especially when you're new to dating and especially when you don't really have much experience in relationships, don't look to social media like Instagram or anything like that for relationships goals. You don't look at other people's relationships for what they truly are when you're looking at them online. Relationships are a relationship, right? So the same relationship that you may have with a family member or a close friend, you know that there's ups and downs in that relationship. Everything's not up. Everything is not only about doing the most fun, expensive thing. It's really about doing life together. So when you think of relationships, I want you to be more realistic. So the reason why I'm saying this is because me and my sister was recently watching a reality show about love. And one of the girls, she was absolutely beautiful and she, you know, presented really well. But when asked questions like, you know, what do you like to do for fun? She just said, like, I like to travel and do jet skis and ATVs and zip lining. And he's like, okay. And then he asked another girl what she likes to do for fun. And she was like, you know, I like to hang out and cuddle. I like to read. You know, she had like a more realistic day-to-day, what do I look like when I'm having fun? And the other girl's response was very, I kind of feel like it's like what you think a relationship is about, right? What you think that is fun. You're not going to be traveling every day. You're not going to be on ATVs and ziplining every single day. What do you like to do for fun? You can say like an activity that you do every day. You know, be more down to earth, be more realistic. The more down to earth and like realistic where he can see his life with you, because you're putting a vision in his mind, like what a day will look like, what a weekend will look like hanging out. That is the impression that you need to be leaving, not this impression of, I want to go travel to Bali and do this and do that. And that's all great. I'm so down with that. I love traveling. I'm going to be traveling a lot the rest of this year. But I really think that that's not the main focus. I feel like most people like traveling. I know people who don't like traveling, and that's fine, but like most people like traveling. So that's kind of like a no-brainer. But like when you're saying things that are like if a person was to ask me, like, I love doing yoga, I love fitness, I love going for walks, I love going to the beach, I love bike riding, I love reading, I just love hanging out, I love watching like sci-fi flicks. I love learning about ancient history. I love like deep diving into like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Like these are the kind of things that I really love to do, and I find them entertaining and fun. And I talk about that. I love making YouTube videos. I love watching YouTube videos. I love hanging out with friends. I love connecting with my family and hanging out with them. I love hanging out with my family. That's like the number one thing I love to do. I love cooking sometimes, but I do cook, and I cook really well. So I talk about real things, real like down to earth things. Don't talk about like La La Land. And I get that. Like I love shopping. That's, that I would say that because I actually do really love shopping. Like, and not everybody loves shopping, right? But I love shopping. But it's not only about like the shopping, right? It's just the experience of getting something new, finding a new find and loving it and buying it and bringing it home and integrating it in my life. Like I love the whole experience. So when you're asked, what do you like to do for fun and stuff like that, be more down to earth, be more relatable. Have it so when you answer these questions, he can actually get like a real idea of what life with you would look like. So don't think of like Instagram answers. Don't look to, these couples that are doing X, Y, and Z together or anything like that. Be realistic and just be real at that point, right? You want to put like honest truth, like what do you actually like? What will it actually feel like being with you? Because once he knows that, and if it vibes out with him, he's going to feel even more connected with you. And that's what gives you like that girl next door. That's what gives you that this is my wife. This is what gives you like I want to be with her no matter what. And he's gonna say like, I can bring her to my family. I can, she's a great girl. Another thing, and I want to end on this, is you do want to present well, with all the stuff that I said, but you also want to have an underlining sexual energy. This is very important because these are men, right? We're talking about men. I'm not telling you need to make out with him or sleep with him or anything like that. But there has to be some type of vibe where he can feel that there's an attraction, there's a sexual tension in there. There's something in there that's like turned on, and the only reason why he can't fully get you is because you're not his wife. Right? He hasn't given you a ring yet. He hasn't committed to you yet. So that's the only reason that's keeping you, and that's keeping him away from that sexualness inside of you. That right there, that little sexual tension right there is what's going to grab him and make him yours really quick, because that's enough for a man to do anything. But if you are a good woman and all these other things that I'm saying, you're getting it and he's feeling the vibes, time has slowed down, he wants to be with you, those kind of things, just sprinkle in a little bit of sexual tension. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about sex. Please don't talk about sex. That is another cringy thing that people do that does not work for anybody. Do not talk outwardly about sex. Just sprinkle in sexual energy. That's what you do. So sometimes, like, before you go on a date, if the guy's going to pick you up or you need to confirm or anything like that, you can just get on a call with him, right? And you say, well, I'm about to take a bath so I can get ready for our date. Just, like that alone, this I'm gonna take a bath. In his mind, he's like, oh, she's getting in the shower. She's taking a bath. Ooh, like there's a little bit of sexual energy there. Like it's not even really you're saying it like in a provocative way. You're just saying what you're about to do, right? So that is kind of like that sexual energy without having that sexual energy. It's also about like having like an attractive, it's about using your eyes, but also like smiling with it. So you don't want to, I think Tyra Banks called like smizing. So you kind of want to smize with your eyes. You want to be like, just like into him, like, right? Like be kind of into him. Show him that you're into him, but without fully going all the way, right? And, or not saying it. You know, you just want to kind of feel it inside, and so it could come out of you, if you get what I'm saying, right? It's kind of hard to explain, but you get what I'm saying. Like, as long as you can cultivate that, you got no problems, girl. You got absolutely no problems. And that's really the main things I want you ladies to think about when you're dating, especially when you're dating for marriage, on top of everything else that I talk about in my previous videos. Watch those so you can get like a full idea of what dating for marriage looks like. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions of videos that you want to hear from me. Please like the video. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. I have more content for you ladies. I am just getting back on this routine, so I will be back with even more content as the year closes. I do have 2 trips that I'm going on. One is to New York and the other is to Hawaii, but I will be on here as much as possible. You can always book a goddess check-in with me. I left my information down below. This is something that I love doing. I love connecting with you ladies. I love hearing your stories and, you know, just kind of giving you the tips and tricks so your relationships can like get even better and you can get the results that you want. Yeah, so if you will just like the video, share, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, I will be forever grateful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.